This is CBC Here and Now.
Luckily, I have the option of sending my daughter out to my parents' house in Carbonera for a couple of weeks if necessary. As far as I know, it's between 8 and 10 people work there, so it's more devastating for them than, I guess, the parents.
Looking for answers and new alternatives.
After a devastating overnight fire at a daycare. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Anthony Germain. While the daycare's owners and the RNC investigate the fire, parents of children attending the St. John's Daycare are seeking new arrangements.
The fire broke out early this morning, gutting the Mother Hens Daycare on Rope Walk Lane. Here and Now, Stephen Miller has our top story.
This charred black space is all that remains of what was once a cheery and colorful place, filled with children's art, toys, and clothing. The fire started around 3:45 a.m. at this strip mall on Rope Walk Lane. No one was inside and no one was hurt, but this fire is devastating for staff and parents. They're surveying the wreckage and waiting for answers from investigators.
As far as I know, it's between 8 and 10 people work there, so it's more devastating for them than, I guess, the parents. They're currently out of job, I guess, and they're currently looking for a new location to set up shop.
Lewis's 5-year-old daughter has been attending the daycare for more than 3 years. During that time, he's developed close ties with the owner and staff. He heard about the fire early this morning, and when he reached out to the owner, he inadvertently informed them of the blaze.
Getting on the go this morning, getting ready for my day, get my daughter ready for daycare actually. She attends here, and I found out that there was a fire, and I immediately texted the owners, called her, and that's how they found out that there was a fire.
The daycare's location in a strip mall had firefighters worried the fire would spread. They stopped it from reaching neighboring businesses, but those places did receive some damage. There have been 2 daycare fires in St. John's in 2019. Back in March, a fire at a daycare on Le Marchant Road displaced 26 children. No one was injured. For this fire, the RNC say it's under active investigation, although they would not say whether or not it's being treated as suspicious. They're asking anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Stephen Miller, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, now to politics and payoffs of a different kind. If you think back 2 months when you cast your vote on Election Day, you probably saw a lot of people working the polling stations. Elections NL hired 4,000 people to work that day, and several hundred of them still haven't been paid. Well, those who worked for the May 16th general election were told that they would get paid in about 4 to 6 weeks. Well, it's been 7 weeks now. The province's chief electoral officer says the payroll system changed since the last election. Workers get paid either through normal payroll or accounts payable, and collecting the required information is pretty slow going, especially the banking information for direct deposits, because they don't issue checks anymore.
2015, we used the one-time vendor. It was quicker, but it also meant checks, and then usually the problem is they can't find their check. Or they're looking for their check. They don't get their check. It's in the mail somewhere, and then we have to go and try to replace checks and make additional payments to the people. So that process, government did not want to do that. Department of Finance wouldn't allow us to use one-time vendor.
Well, good news for the Burin Peninsula and the town of Fortune. After 3 years of working to get a new wharf, it's almost a done deal. The ferry route between Fortune and St. Pierre is serviced by relatively new boats, but without upgrades to the wharf on the Newfoundland side, vehicles can't drive onto the vessels. The deal should be signed in the coming days to start work in Fortune to fix that. It's taken a few years for the Port Authority to get to this point. A refurbished dock will improve travel and allow more freight to be delivered between this province and the European island.
Tomorrow is the day that everything changes for Graham Fitch. The 21-year-old will learn if he is going to be held criminally responsible for the death of David Collins, and a judge will decide Fitch's future. But both the lawyers for the Crown and the defense agree that he should not be held responsible. No one involved in this trial argues that Fitch is a criminal. So why is he in Her Majesty's Penitentiary? The CBC's Bailey White explains.
2 years, 6 months, 16 days. That is how long it's been since what was almost certainly the worst night of Graham Fitch's life, and the worst night of so many other lives. Fitch is charged with second-degree murder in the death of his mother's partner, David Collins. His lawyers argue he's not criminally responsible due to a mental disorder. But arguing might actually be too strong a word in this case. The defense and the Crown agree on almost everything. Yes, Fitch killed Collins in their shared Logie Bay home. Yes, he fled from police. Yes, he struck an officer with a stolen car. And yes, Fitch has schizophrenia. Yes, it was undiagnosed at the time of the killing. No, he didn't know what he was doing. No, he should not be held criminally responsible.
When a person is held in jail before trial, that's called remand custody. And basically what we have happening in those cases, that individual is considered either a flight risk or a risk to themselves or others, and thus they get held up until their trial or after trial and post-conviction.
Sociologist Rosemary Ricciardelli says it's common for people to be held in jail before they are tried, and a person's mental health doesn't necessarily change that. The Department of Justice says inmate placements are done on a case-by-case basis, and people awaiting trial can be held at the Waterford if a doctor deems it necessary.
Can you live a normal life with schizophrenia?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave Banco says it is possible to recover from schizophrenia, but it is much harder to do in jail.
You probably won't be recovering very well, and if you do, it'll be at a snail's pace just because you don't have the supports. Recovery is possible with pretty well everyone with a mental illness, but they need the support of family, caregivers, community supports, medical professionals, everything that's available to them, but they don't have that in the correctional system, especially in this province.
There are lots of people at Her Majesty's Penitentiary who haven't been convicted of any crime. They're still waiting for their trials. And those waits are nothing new, but they are always painful for everyone involved. So in cases where mental health or mental well-being are clearly factors, could there be a way to speed the process up?
Maybe it shouldn't have to wait until after trial to actually determine, or pre-conviction we can have it determined, but it's part of the trial where we can look to see if a person is going to be non-criminally responsible or not. And maybe if we can speed that up and do that sooner, we might be able to have a more effective experience.
The province says changes are in the works. By next year, the health department will be in charge of health services in prisons. They'll also be in charge of the associated funding. Even if 21-year-old Graham Fitch is found not criminally responsible tomorrow, he probably will not be a free man. It's more likely that he will be transferred to a locked unit at the Waterford Hospital, where a review board will examine him every so often to see if he's a danger to the public. There, he'll have to come to grips with everything that has happened to his family in the past 30 months. And there, he will try to recover. Bailey White, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, still with news from the courts, a Conception Harbour man has been sentenced to 9 years in prison for robbing a St. John's bank at gunpoint and then using the weapon to try to take a car from an off-duty RCMP officer. Mark Quinn reports.
Adam Hayden was one of two men police say robbed this TD Trust Bank on Kelsey Drive last November. Police say the men fired a gun inside the bank, demanded money, and then fled. And that's when their bad luck began. Police say Hayden and Travis Wade sped away in a pickup truck. The two men, both in their 30s, then skidded off O'Leary Avenue. It was November and the road was snow-covered. Wade was quickly nabbed by police, but Hayden took off on foot and tried to carjack a vehicle at gunpoint. He didn't know that one of the people in the car was an off-duty RCMP officer. The officer subdued Hayden and held him until police arrived. Judge Jacqueline Brazel convicted Hayden for the bank robbery and for an earlier charge of shoplifting. So Hayden's 9-year and 3-month sentence includes time for that. Wade, however, has pleaded not guilty to the charges he faces, including armed robbery and assault with a weapon. He's due back in court later this year. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Much has changed over the last 24 hours. Temperatures still sitting in the teens and then a little cooler along the coast. 21 though up through Lab City, so another warm day there. Temperatures not quite as warm as I anticipated yesterday for St. John's, only reaching a high near 15 degrees. I did think we'd see a little bit more cloud cover, but this low, that cloud cover or that break in cloud cover stayed a little bit offshore today. But here's a look at that, how large that low pressure system is starting to make its way up through southeastern Labrador. And with that, we have been seeing some showers for the island, and it's going to continue to spin counterclockwise as we head through the night tonight. If you're planning on heading out to see the fireworks tonight in St. John's, I'll have the whole detail on your forecast coming up.
I was a huge Game of Thrones fan, so Sophie Turner was pretty cool.
And she plays Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones.
And she lived. Oh, I shouldn't say anything.
Sorry for the spoiler.
And here's another. That local stylist just returned from a top-secret, high-profile gig working for a pop singer and a famous Hollywood starlet.
At a chateau in France, no less. And that story coming up on Here and Now. Nalcor CEO Stan Marshall will visit Labrador next week to meet with Indigenous leaders to talk about methyl mercury. The issue came up during his final day of testimony at the inquiry. Here Now's Katie Breen joins us live. So Katie, Marshall is done now. What strikes you about today's testimony?
Well, 2 points. First, we'll get to methyl mercury, but first, let's talk about blame. Marshall says there's plenty to go around. Marshall has been clear from the start that leadership was lacking at Nalcor, that the executive's experience was largely in oil and gas, not hydro. He said he wouldn't have gone through with the project, that there was too much risk and likely a cheaper alternative. He's questioned how much information got through to government and the quality of that information. But to him, it's not just Nalcor or the province. He's also not letting the public off the hook. He's testified that we're all to blame.
When you say that, do you mean that the voters are all to blame in the fact that we elected a government that sanctioned this project based on a platform in 2011 that was largely built on the Muskrat Falls project?
In part. You know, we elect our governments. They are entitled to make public policy decisions. Sometimes we don't challenge them enough. We're just not a jurisdiction that politically welcomes challenge. So yeah, to a certain degree, we all bear some responsibility.
Okay, so now to the methyl mercury part. What can you tell us about that?
Well, we learned today that Marshall plans to travel to Labrador to meet with Indigenous leaders next week, rather. He's going to be discussing options with them. Marshall says there's the two choices today, removing soil and capping or covering wetlands won't work. He testified that the first option was too dangerous and that it was too late to do any capping. Plus, Marshall says there's no scientific evidence that capping would definitely reduce methyl mercury, just a suggestion that it might. The process was estimated to cost between $15 and $30 million. Marshall says that money could be put to better use in terms of benefiting Indigenous health, and that's what he'll be discussing with leaders.
Nalcor is exploring with the Indigenous groups some kind of alternative to wetland capping that would use some or all of the resources allocated for the wetland capping?
That is correct.
Okay.
And scheduled to go back to Labrador next week.
The hope from Nalcor's perspective is that Nalcor won't have to do any wetland capping, but that there'll be some kind of
benefit to the groups concerned.
Marshall wouldn't take questions from the media today, so I couldn't ask him what he hoped to achieve with his meeting with Indigenous leaders. Tomorrow, Premier Dwight Ball will make his anticipated debut at the inquiry. He's scheduled to take 2 days. Live in the newsroom, I'm Katie Breen for Here and Now.
Well, the man who sold the first legalized gram of weed in Canada right here in St. John's has been fired from Canopy Growth. Bruce Linton, who threw a massive party at Tweed back in October, was tossed from the company that he started. It all happened yesterday.
3, 2, 1.
That wasn't yesterday. This was the scene at Tweed on Water Street on October 17th. Front and center, you see him right there, CEO Bruce Linton. He co-founded Canopy Growth. It was a company that he started in an abandoned chocolate factory in Eastern Ontario. He's also the man who secured a $40 million contract from the provincial government to supply Newfoundland and Labrador with weed.
That's how I got told. You know, these things, they get a bit different when you're over 50 than when you're under 50. When you're an entrepreneur founder, sometimes a board meeting's called. That board meeting was called for yesterday. The board meeting's very brief, and then there's the exit process, and so that's kind of how it went down. You know, there's a bunch of contributing things. I'm probably not the most easy guy to get along with, because you don't create a $20 billion company by saying, hey people, what would you like me to do today?
A steel fabrication business in Happy Valley Goose Bay thought it was getting a second life, all thanks to a new data center. But it hasn't gone according to plan. In fact, the owner says he's now missing out on thousands of dollars in income. Jacob Barker has that story.
This is what kept Lionel Letemplier busy back in the 90s, constructing massive steel tanks for the Voisey's Bay mine.
This here was a full steel fabrication shop.
But these days, demand for his steel products has dried up.
We knew we had to diversify. We knew that.
So when he was approached by Great North Data to house a data center in his shop, he jumped at the opportunity. The company paid him $7,000 a month to lease some of his space and use his power, and it only took up a small corner in the back of his shop.
It was a great opportunity for us, to keep the building then and pay your overhead, pay your mortgage. And at the end of the month, probably never had much left, but everything was paid, including the town and so on like that there. So it was working out really well.
But today, those shelves are empty. The town caught wind of the new business operating within his walls and shut it down.
If he was gaining income from another activity at his building, such as a data center, which I believe was operating there and operating illegally without any permit. So the town issued within its jurisdiction a stop work order on that activity, and as far as I know, he isn't operating that business anymore.
Letemplier has tried to get his papers in order. Because the business is in a commercial zone, he applied for a discretionary land use permit, but he was already in arrears with the town to the tune of $40,000. And until the data center was shut down, he was able to make payments on his debt.
We had to cancel those monthly payments then because what they did, the income that we had coming in, they took away from us.
That application won't come to town until there's arrangements in place and that arrears are being taken care of.
Letemplier has found himself in a bit of a catch-22 situation. Without income from the data center, he says he can't pay off his debt, and without the debt paid, the town won't consider the application. Great North Data has said that it would set up shop here again tomorrow if the paperwork was handled. It has even offered to pay off his arrears.
You can't ask somebody to come in and put a large sum of money down with no guarantees or nothing from that. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't do it.
The arrears has to be paid off. Who pays them? I don't really care.
Letemplier says he's reached out to every councillor about his predicament, but none have gotten back to him. And so while the two sides remain at an impasse, these shelves will stay empty. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Be able to get some cards for her and read them to her and let her enjoy the well wishes from all her friends.
A son's call for greeting cards. It's not the first time Henry Power has made this plea.
Last time it resulted in thousands of Christmas cards for Teresa Power, his mom. Now the family says she's not well and more cards might just provide some comfort. Welcome back to Here and Now. A couple of years ago, you might remember the story of Teresa Power. She was an elderly woman who received all kinds of Christmas cards, thousands of them from all over the world. And the person who made that possible was her son Henry, who joins me here outside the emergency department. So Henry, what's going on with your mom?
So Friday of last week, my mom had a fall, and we ended up having to take her to the Health Science Centre for emergency care. And while there, she was given a diagnosis that is probably going to be shorten her lifespan, and that it's a pretty serious illness she has, and in the process probably going to move to palliative care in the next few days.
I know we were talking before we actually started to roll on this interview. You mentioned that you have no criticism for the people who are here, but you have concerns about a gap. So tell me about that gap.
So the gap for our family was from when my mom got the diagnosis on Friday night until today, when I got to see the palliative care got to assess her. And like, it's a very stressful time. You don't know if you're right. You care a lot about the person. Are you reading the situation properly? Are you going to be able to provide for her? People have to take time off work. Are they going to be able to keep their jobs? You know, there's financial issues and stuff that comes into play. And then, you know, there's other people that live in the house that impacts them. And then you got a house that's not geared up for a 92-year-old woman. I'd like to see the healthcare system be able to take charge at the emergency room and provide the jump from there to the palliative care, that gap there.
Did you talk to your mom about what's happening to her?
Yes, she is, in her words, she's lived an amazing life. You know, at 92 years old, she said something is going to get me sooner or later.
Yeah.
She's a very positive person, and all she wants is for everybody in her life to be happy for her.
Right.
And that's all.
So what was that conversation like with your mom?
It was very, it was very emotional, because my mom has been someone who has given everything to everybody, you know, all her life. She's done without stuff all her life to provide for her children, you know. So that's, and she's still doing it.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago that you actually went out of your way to make sure that a lot of people wished her well during Christmas. What would you like people to do now?
Well, Mom's in her, you know, final few months. We don't really know how long it's going to be, but she still has her faculties, and we want to be able to get some cards for her and read them to her and let her enjoy the well wishes from all her friends, because she's had amazing groups of friends from all over. And she will really appreciate that, and it'll help pass the time when you're sitting in that hospital for the last little while, and for her family too. You know, one of the things that we've been able to give us some strength is people have reached out and they've talked so positively about our mom and that, right? So that's really made us feel good. Right?
Well, certainly there were cards from everywhere before, and
yes.
Maybe it'll happen again. Good luck.
Maybe.
Good luck, Henry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I should mention Henry talking about his mom, Teresa. I remember actually working on radio then, and we did the interview, and his mom came on the line, and she was so happy to get all these cards from all over the world. And as he said, she's still conscious, she still has all her faculties, she's just going through a really rough time. So if you do want to send cards, you can do that. You send them to Teresa Power. She's moved now. The new address is 14 Ashland Crescent in Paradise, Newfoundland and Labrador, of course, A1L3G1, and I'll tweet that out in just a bit as well. But anyway, 92, she had a great life, and of course, hard time for the Power family right now.
Yeah, I hope she gets lots of cards.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll bring a smile to her face.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now turning to the weather.
Yeah.
It was another nice day today.
It was an okay day today, a little cooler than I anticipated, but not too bad out there. But the other thing everybody's really wondering about is the fireworks. Monday got postponed, or was it Sunday? Monday, I guess. And yesterday. So we'll take a look at that forecast if you're planning on heading out to watch them at Kitty Vitty tonight at 10 p.m. It does look like we should be sitting around 12 degrees. There is a chance we'll see some showers as well. So if you're heading out, just make sure you grab your jacket. And those winds will be pretty much what we're seeing now, somewhere between 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. So could be better, could be worse. So not too bad of a forecast. But as far as what today goes, again, I did mention a little bit cooler for St. John's today, 15 degrees, similar temperatures through Central, 9 in Corner Brook, 10 up through Happy Valley Goose Bay as well. And we can thank that low pressure system for that. Those temperatures pretty similar, still only about a degree difference from what we saw as our daytime highs today. And we can, again, thank that big area of low pressure spinning over us. A little bit of a different forecast track than what it looked like yesterday, and that's what kept all that sunshine offshore and those temperatures a little bit cooler. But we are looking at that potential for some showers overnight tonight. We are seeing a little bit of drizzle activity for the western portion of the Avalon, but that will continue as we head through the night tonight as we start to see some more showers move through. Southeastern Labrador under the influence of that low pressure system as well. So you're going to see that onshore flow, cooler temperatures, and along with that drizzle. So here's our overnight lows. It looks like anywhere from 8 to 10 degrees as we head towards St. John's. Southwesterlies around 20 kilometers per hour, 20 to 30 kilometers per hour overnight tonight. Westerlies for the west coast, 8 degrees in Corner Brook, 6 for St. Anthony, and then 8 degrees for Grand Falls, Windsor. Heading up through Labrador, does look like things will clear out or should have already cleared out for Happy Valley Goose Bay, going down to a low near 5 degrees, 2 for Nain, and then 10 for Lab City tonight. I still have that chance of some showers in overnight. We could even hear a few rumbles of thunder right now. That lightning is north of you right now, but can't rule that out anyway. So here's a look at tomorrow. That low still very much in play, but it's pulling off and it's weakening. So we should start to see some clearing skies down through the southern half of the island, even the southern Avalon as well. And then you'll start to see some clearing skies up through Labrador. Still a little bit unsettled for Lab West though, so we could see some showers into the afternoon with that potential for a few rumbles of thunder as well. Overall, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-teens, 14 degrees for St. John's, 17 in Marystown. Again, most of the, or best chance of seeing the sunshine rather, will be for the southern half of the island. Some showers and onshore flow still for the northeast coast, so you're still looking at those cooler temperatures, single-digit highs for you. Stephenville 14, 11 in Corner Brook, and then as we head up towards the Great Northern Peninsula, still looking at those similar temperatures. Those northwesterlies around 30 kilometers per hour, so a little bit brisk. But then the warm temperatures for Lab West, 23 for Churchill Falls, 24 for Lab City, and then Happy Valley Goose Bay looking at a high near 20 degrees tomorrow. The good news is this warmth is headed for the island. I'll have all those details coming up.
All we're trying to do is to promote it, because there are hand cycles out there. They would like to participate.
He's been training for the Tele 10, but hit a roadblock.
Why this mobility-challenged athlete says organizers are discriminating against him. Welcome back to Here and Now. A controversial former provincial cabinet minister has died. Dave Gilbert represented the South Coast district of Burgeo Bay d'Espoir for 3 terms in the House of Assembly. He was also a cabinet minister in the Clyde Wells government after the Liberals swept to power back in 1989. But Gilbert's political career was overshadowed by fraud charges and a subsequent conviction involving a car dealership that his family ran in Grand Falls, Windsor. Gilbert retired from politics in 1996. His funeral is tomorrow in St. John's.
Well, an athlete with a disability is claiming discrimination by organizers of the Telly 10 road race. Dean Butler uses a hand cycle, a racing chair that's propelled by a hand-cranked gears. Butler wants to race in the upcoming Telly 10, but organizers are keeping hand cycles off the starting line. Here now, Zach Gowdy has the story.
Dean Butler may be sitting down, but he's still working up a sweat. Butler is an athlete with a physical disability who uses a hand cycle, similar to a bicycle, but propelled by a hand crank instead of foot pedals.
This is designed for people that are challenged to take on road races, just the same as a regular bike, but just where I'm sitting down.
Butler isn't out for some casual exercise. He trains almost every day and wants to compete. But he hit a roadblock when he tried to enter his hand cycle in the Telly 10.
All we're trying to do is to promote it, because there are hand cycles out there. They would like to participate, but the Telly 10 doesn't want it.
Telly 10 organizers say that inclusion is an important principle of the province's biggest road race. Athletes in push-rim wheelchairs are welcome, but the rules explicitly state no mechanical gears or levers are allowed to propel the wheelchair.
Hand crank are actually a bicycle race, and that is not our sport. So therefore, yes, it would certainly become a safety issue, as well as the fact that our insurance would be null and void for anybody coming into the race with any kind of gears, as opposed to push rim.
It's not just the Telly. Running races around the world are grappling with the same issue. In 2017, the Boston Marathon tried to ban hand cycles, but came under heavy criticism from victims of the Boston Marathon bombing. The marathon apologized and changed course. The New York Marathon has a small exhibition category for hand cycles, but the Toronto Waterfront Marathon does not allow them.
I don't think that's the right answer. I think the thing is, how can we include these people?
On Butler's side is his friend and training partner, Mel Fitzgerald, a member of the Canadian Wheelchair Sports Hall of Fame and multiple Paralympic medal winner. Fitzgerald thinks if the Boston Marathon can find a way, then so can the Telly 10.
This is about inclusion, and I think of any event, the Telly 10 is a bit more than a foot race. There are all kinds of people who take part in it for all kinds of reasons, and I think we can find a way to allow hand bikes in.
Telly 10 organizers say they've looked for a middle lane. They've offered Butler the use of a push-rim wheelchair, but he says that jumping into a new piece of equipment for a 10-mile race would be too hard on his body. Meanwhile, Bicycle NL has begun allowing hand cycles in bike races. Butler and Fitzgerald recently competed in the Pooch Cove Classic. But Butler says he's determined to keep pushing in his training and for a place for hand cycles in all road races.
This is our equipment. It should be no different. You should walk, run, or bike, or wheelchair. It shouldn't matter. It should be all equal.
Zach Gowdy, CBC News, St. John's.
We'll stay with sports. 2 pint-sized golfers from this province are making a name for themselves on the world stage. Well, it's hard to believe because they're only 8 years of age. Mila and Freya are even beating their own father at the game, and CBC Radio's Fred Hutton swung by Ballyhaley in St. John's to get some much-needed pointers from the Snook sisters.
Brent, what do you think of this? Your daughters are, well, one of your daughters getting ready to go off to a world championship at the age of 8?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's an unbelievable experience. The girls have been working pretty hard at this and at their golf and their craft for at least 5 years now, so it's I'm pretty proud of them.
Since they were 3?
Since they were 3, I saw them hit a pink bat on a tee ball, and they turned on the ball really hard, and I asked them one, I said, well, if I gave them a club, could they hit the ball? And sure enough, I went to Golf Town and gave them a little tiny miniature club, and they were able to make contact right away. And I thought, well, this could be a bit of fun. It's a way to spend some time with my girls.
But as a golfer, what did that do to your own feeling and your own game?
Yeah, well, it just showed me that some of the things it showed me is that if I swing smoothly and just stay smooth through the ball, you can actually make good contact. And I've learned that from watching them. It's all in technique, and Jake has done some amazing stuff with them, making sure that the form is proper and that the swing is smoothly through the ball and so on. And that makes a big difference in terms of their contact and ball flight.
So this recent trip to Cambridge, was that their first real, in terms of a big competition?
It was, yeah. The trip to Cambridge was initially meant to be a bit of a family trip, and also just to see how well the girls would perform. Lots of people said that they could hit the ball and that they were good golfers, but we had no idea really how to compare them. So we took them to Cambridge and as a family trip, and it turned out that Freya had won the tournament, and that then allowed her to qualify for the IMG World Championships. And Mila was on an alternate list, and a couple of other kids declined their trip to San Diego, so they offered a second spot to Mila. And then later on we went to Chester, that was in June 9th, and Mila qualified on her own for the Pinehurst tournament for the U.S. Kids Golf World Championship. So they both each individually qualified for their own worlds, which is quite exciting.
What's your favorite part about golf in terms of hitting the ball or putting or chipping? What's your favorite part?
It's challenging. I like spending time with my family, and I have fun trying to get better at all my putting and my drivers, and it's pretty fun.
So do you like driving the ball, teeing it up? Is that your favorite part, of hitting it hard, or do you like the putting part?
I like booming the ball far.
Booming the ball? And can you boom it very far?
Yeah.
What do you plan to do? Do you plan to play golf forever, or would you like to do this beyond now? When you're an adult, maybe on a tour, the pro tour?
Maybe. Yeah, I plan to be on the LPGA.
You plan to be on the LPGA?
Well, I'm trying to get on the LPGA. I'm trying to.
Who's your favorite golfer to watch?
Brooke Henderson.
You like Brooke?
Yeah. He's
You
a
too?
good golfer. Yeah. And out of the men's, we like Tiger Woods.
You like Tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just lots of fun right now, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And first you got to finish grade 2.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And then golf all summer?
Yeah.
Grade 2.
Yeah, okay. It's always nice when you meet 8-year-olds who can beat you at a sport. Anyway, fantastic. And good luck in those championships. That should be quite something.
Yep.
Making hairstory.
Oh, a local salon owner was whisked off to a French chateau, not unlike this one, to style the stars.
It was all very hush-hush, but now she's spilling that story. That's next.
I'm a sucker for you.
I'm here at the Headroom Salon in Paradise, where the owner is still buzzing from what was a top secret gig in France over the weekend. Aaron Wall was part of a team styling the hair for the wedding of Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. And if you don't know those names, here's some help.
I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell.
I'm a sucker for you.
So yes, this was a mega celebrity wedding, and Aaron, you were there behind the scenes with your curling iron, your comb in hand. How did you end up there?
Well, what happened was I'm a part of a Wella North American team, and Sophie Turner's actual lead stylist happens to be on the Wella team in the UK. So through that, we got the contract to do the hair for the wedding party, and I was lucky enough to be one of the team members invited.
What was your reaction when you got that invitation?
To be honest, it was a little bit surreal. I had my husband read the email, and I had him kind of listen in on my call, and to be honest, I just had to kind of process that information for a little while because I was a huge Game of Thrones fan.
The lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
So you watched her as Sansa Stark. What was that like then, seeing her in person?
Well, I was, like I said, huge Game of Thrones fan. I watched it from the beginning to the end in real time, so that was super exciting for me. And to see her in person, I mean, she's like a regular 23-year-old girl, and she is just like stunningly beautiful, super, super down to earth and sweet. Like, I cannot stress enough like how lovely and accommodating and just sweet she was. She's just such a nice girl. And what we were doing, we were actually there to do all her bridesmaids. So we ended up going to this beautiful chateau in an undisclosed location. Again, everything was very top secret the whole time. And when we got there, our role was to get her bridal party prepped for the day, essentially. And of course, Sophie was there with us the whole time. She did have her own personal stylist, Christian, but we were all working together, and like I said, it was awesome.
Describe what the atmosphere was like and what the people were like.
Well, the chateau was beautiful. It was built in 1735, so it was this big, beautiful home. The grounds were just stunning, and vineyards. It was lovely. It was just a gorgeous scene. They brought us up to one of the rooms. When we got there, Sophie Turner and all her little bridesmaids, there was 8 of them, 9 including her. They all came out in matching pajamas. They were very cute. Obviously had a really fun night the night before. And we set up for hair and makeup, and we literally, all the girls kind of came into our room. They were drinking champagne and trying to get us to drink champagne with them, actually, which was really fun, which we didn't take part until later, as we were being very professional. Right. But we set up to do their hair. We had discussed our looks prior, and we basically got right down to work. And while we're working, I mean, the girls had been friends since they were 5 years old, and then they had Macy Williams, was her maid of honor from Game of Thrones as well. It was a long day, but a really fun day. Yeah. It happened to be a heat wave in France while we were there.
Oh, that's difficult on the hair.
Yeah. So it was 46 degrees while we were there. So that was probably our biggest challenge, just trying to keep everybody cool and have their hair look appropriate, because they wanted their hair down. We did slightly back, just the front back, and it was a very bohemian, soft wave. So of course we used lots of product, lots of setting of the hair, as much cooling as we could with the girls, but we managed. It all ended up well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does this mean now for your business and for your career, having done something so high profile?
Well, for me, it's all about kind of bringing it back and paying it forward within my staff and within the industry. I mean, I'm a very passionate hairstylist. I care very deeply about our industry and about just really showing, the next generation of stylists that the sky's the limit in this business. Like, don't assume that you can't make it to the next level, or you can't have whatever you want to have in this business, because you literally can have it all if you want to. So for me, I hope that it inspires, especially my staff. I mean, within the Headroom group, I want to inspire those who are with me, but also anyone in the industry. Like I said, sky's the limit.
Wonderful. Erin Wall, thank you so much for telling us about it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Pretty
So
cool
cool.
bragging rights,
I know,
right?
right?
Guess where I was on the weekend.
Yeah, amazing. And she was saying that while they were there, they weren't allowed to take their phones out or anything like that. It was all very under wraps. So
right. Keep everything secret.
For sure.
See what that.
We're still waiting to see what Sophie Turner's wedding dress looks like, apparently.
All right, so we'll find out eventually. Let's turn to news in the United States now. Donald Trump calls his 4th of July celebration a salute to America. But his critics say the extravaganza he's planning in Washington is more of a salute to Donald Trump. The president is going to take center stage tomorrow, and alongside him, an overt display of American military might.
I'm going to be here, and I'm going to say a few words, and we're going to have planes going overhead, the best fighter jets in the world, and other planes too. And we're going to have some tanks stationed outside.
Those tanks are raising alarms in some circles, and it's not just the symbolism, but also worries about the road damage they might cause. And then there's also the issue of Trump's speech at the Lincoln Memorial. Presidents don't usually deliver them, speeches that is, on the 4th of July. And as for the price tag for all of this, the White House refuses to say exactly how much Trump's big parade is going to cost. But the National Park Service has diverted money that had been earmarked for other purposes.
Well, Boeing is pledging $100 million to the families and communities of those killed in 2 separate 737 MAX crashes. 157 people were killed when an Ethiopian airline flight crashed in March. Months earlier, 189 were killed in a Lion Air flight crash. In both cases, the plane nosedived shortly after takeoff. The airline manufacturer is facing mounting lawsuits by the families. This money would be separate from any settlement. Welcome back, everyone. And before we get to the weather, I think it might be worth mentioning that if you have any animals at home tonight with the fireworks, the Canada Day fireworks that are happening at 10 o'clock tonight, that you might want to keep your dogs indoors.
Yes.
I've done several stories in the past of dogs that are just able to like leap over fences or under fences because they're so terrified of the fireworks.
Yeah. And they'll take off and cause problems.
Yeah, so keep that in mind tonight.
Whereas the cats are just going like, whatevs. Cats! They're cats.
They don't care.
That's good. That's good. Well, yeah, so the weather's not going to be so great tonight, but that's okay. But heading towards Friday, much better. And it looks nice, actually.
Really?
Yeah, as far as those temperatures go, kind of alluded to that yesterday. And the more and closer that we get to it, the warmer it looks. So We're looking at a ridge of high pressure moving in, and that should clear things out through the day on Friday, actually, as that low moves away offshore, and then we see that high pressure move in, dominate. Slight chance we're going to still, or likely will see some showers again for Lab West through the afternoon, but other than that, that will move right across the board. And then maybe even see some showers towards the evening and overnight hours for the northern peninsula and then parts of the west coast as well. So yesterday I mentioned that ridge in the jet stream. That's what's going to bring in that warmer air. Going to head in Friday afternoon. It looks like the warmest air will move in by the time Saturday afternoon rolls around. And then eventually we'll start to see a little bit of a dip in that jet stream, which will bring some of that cooler air in, which isn't by much, but still going to cool it off from these temperatures that we're going to see. So this is what it looks like right now for Friday. Mid-20s with that chance of showers for Lab City, Happy Valley, Goose Bay, same thing. Temperature 26 degrees right now for Grand Falls, Windsor. That could actually jump up a couple of degrees. And with this, we're going to see some humid air as well. 22 in Corner Brook, 22 for Gander, and then St. John's right now sitting at about 17 degrees. That warmer air moves in for for Saturday. So here's a look at that low pressure, the other low pressure system that is going to be our weather maker through the weekend. But generally right now it looks not too bad, especially along the west coast. We'll see some shower activity that'll head towards eastern Newfoundland overnight. Move quickly, and then in behind that we're going to see some clearing skies again on Saturday or Sunday afternoon rather. Winds are going to be a little bit stronger though with that, but staying unsettled up through Labrador as that low sticks around right through Monday evening. And then nice for the island. So here's a look at your temperatures. 14 degrees tomorrow. Mentioned that roller coaster, 23 by Saturday, and then Sunday still staying around seasonal. This is what we should be sitting around this time of year. Monday, plenty of sunshine and 20 degrees. Again, that Sunday rain more than likely in the morning. For central Newfoundland, 15, then 26 and 28 degrees for the weekend. Again, going to feel very humid, but plenty of sunshine by the time Sunday and Monday rolls around. And then we've got similar temperatures for western Newfoundland. So there's tomorrow's 11, but then you got something to look forward to for the weekend. And then up through eastern Labrador, 20 degrees tomorrow. We're going to stay around that into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is when those temperatures will dip, and we can thank that low pressure system. And then same for western Labrador, 24, 23, 15 on Saturday. So last night we had a little bit of fog move in.
Oh, I know where that is.
You do.
That's a pretty easy one.
Yes, yes. I'll tell you where it was taken and who took it when we come back.
Welcome back. So yeah, this is an easy.
It is.
New bridge.
Yeah, sometimes we get some easy pictures, and I don't stump you with just a random sunset. But yeah, this photo was taken where?
In Placentia.
In Placentia, yeah.
The nice new
taken.
bridge.
The nice new bridge there, yeah. A little bit of fog moved through, made a beautiful photo. Vanessa called it Blue Hour in Placentia.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The bridge is worth the wait.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that just opened?
It's a long story. It's been there for a while, but
we'll talk about that
there's
after
a whole
the show.
saga that precedes you arriving here with that bridge. Yeah. I was
enough.
supposed to go and dance a jig on that bridge with the mayor.
Oh, were you?
But,
Really?
Yes, it's another
How
story.
come that didn't happen?
I don't know,
I
but
wonder.
our cameras will be there if and when that happens.
Can that still happen?
I haven't done a jig on a bridge since May. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. So fireworks tonight?
Fireworks tonight. Grab a jacket just in case.
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
And
Kitty
maybe
Bitty.
an umbrella?
Yeah. Yeah.
In case there's drizzle.
In case there's enough rain, if you don't have a nice or a good jacket.
And a reminder again about pets.
Yes, keep your dogs indoors.
Yeah. And if you have cats, just laugh at the dogs. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.